The highway. 17 Diner sat just off the interstate in rural Tennessee, all flickering neon lights and worn vinyl booths that smelled like coffee and fried eggs at 2 a.m. Inside, a tired handful of truckers nursed bottomless mugs while rain beat against the windows. The fry cook, Marcy, flipped bacon behind the counter. A young server named Tina poured refills and forced a smile. And back in the steamy dish pit, behind a metal swing door, Ray Collins scrubbed plates in silence. Gray beard, faded tattoo on his forearm half hidden by rolled-up sleeves. Nobody really looked at Ray twice. He was just the old dishwasher, always there, never late, never talked much. Truckers sometimes joked about him. "Guy is probably hiding from an ex-wife," one driver laughed. "Nah, I heard he sleeps in that shed out back," another added. Tina once asked Marcy about him. "Old Ray?" Marcy shrugged. "Keeps his head down, never misses a shift. Better than any of the kids they hire." Nobody asked Ray himself. Nobody asked about the anchor tattoo half buried in burn scars. Nobody noticed the way he watched the door whenever the register rang after midnight. Just after 1:30 a.m., the bell over the door chimed. A man stepped inside, young, damp hoodie, ball cap pulled low. He didn't sit, just stood by the pie case, looking too long at the register. Tina felt her stomach tighten. She caught Marcy's eye. Marcy just shook her head, spatula in hand. The man pulled something from his jacket, shiny steel, a gun. "Empty the till!" he barked. One trucker stood up halfway but froze when the gun swung his way. Marcy raised both hands, grease still dripping from the spatula. Tina fumbled with the register. Her hands trembled so badly coins clattered to the floor. Ray heard the shout through the swing door. He turned off the tap. Steam hissed in the sudden silence. For a moment, he just stood there, dish towel in hand, staring at the faded reflection of himself in a rack of wet plates. Then he wiped his hands. He reached for a dented metal coffee can on the shelf. Inside, a folded piece of cloth, an old Marine Recon patch. Ray pressed his thumb to it for half a second. Memory flashed. Sand. Shouts. Gunfire. He blinked. The plate rack faded back into focus. He pushed the swing door open just enough to see the kid with the gun. Tina was crying now. The gun wavered. The truckers sat frozen. Ray stepped forward quietly. No sudden moves. "Easy, son," Ray said, voice low, calm. "Put it down." The robber spun. "Stay back, old man. I'll shoot you," Tina whimpered. Marcy's eyes darted from Ray to the gun. Ray took one more step, hands open. His boots squeaked on the greasy floor. Same boots he wore when he scrubbed the kitchen at dawn. "Don't do this, kid," he said, softer now. "Ain't worth it." The kid's hands trembled on the grip. "Shut up. Back up." Years ago, on a rooftop in Fallujah, Ray had done this same move. Gun pointed. Young eyes on the trigger. Back then, it was sand and sweat and radio chatter. Tonight, it was pie displays and dollar bills and cold coffee. Ray shifted his weight. Left foot braced. He'd always been quick for an old man. Just needed one heartbeat. The kid glanced at the register. Just 1 second. Ray lunged. His hand hit the robber's wrist, twisted hard. A muffled crack. The gun hit the floor. A cup shattered. Tina screamed. Ray spun the kid around, slammed him face first onto the counter. Not hard enough to break anything, just enough to pin him down. Nobody breathed. Nobody moved. Marcy grabbed the gun, held it with both hands like it was a rattlesnake. Tina slumped to the floor, tears streaking her mascara. Ray stood there, holding the kid's wrist tight until the kid whimpered. "You done?" Ray asked. The kid nodded, eyes wide. Ray let him go. The boy slid to the floor, clutching his sprained wrist. Ray turned, saw the whole diner staring at him. Truckers with half-drunk mugs frozen midair. Sheriff's deputies arrived 10 minutes later. The robber sat cuffed on the curb, head down. Inside, Tina poured Ray a fresh cup of coffee. On the house. You okay?" she asked. Ray shrugged. "He's just a kid. He'll learn." One deputy, young enough to be Ray's grandson, leaned against the counter. "You ex-Marine?" Ray sipped his coffee. "Once." "You still got it," the deputy said. Ray just stared at the rain through the window. Some things don't wash off. By sunrise, word had spread. Truckers told other truckers. Someone posted the security footage online. Old dishwasher takes down armed robber. Tina and Marcy begged Ray to call in sick the next night. He didn't. At 2 a.m., he was right back behind the dish pit, same apron, same steam, rising off the soapy plates. And when a trucker asked if the story was true, Ray just smiled, scrubbed another plate, and said, "Eat your pie before it gets cold."